This is a Boston 25 Storm Tracker weather alert.
Now at 6, we are on a weather alert. Wet conditions out on the roads as holiday travel is ramping up. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Ockerblum.
And I'm Vanessa Welch. After the wet weather moves on out, we'll get ready for a bitterly cold Thanksgiving. We have team coverage for you tonight from the conditions on the roads to the areas that are seeing the most traffic. But first, let's send it over to the Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lemanowitz, who's timing out when this Arctic front moves on in.
Okay, now the Arctic front is not even here. It's not until tomorrow. So this is bad enough, right? It's cold enough. But it's going to get worse as far as temperatures, but at least it won't come with more of this. There is snow out there and steady snow. Look at the deep blue showing up here. It stretches from the outer parts of Hull, around Hull High School, back through Quincy, into Dedham, Norwood, and Walpole right now. And to the South Shore, we've been talking about some of the snow happening in northern Plymouth County. Now into central and southern Plymouth County, rain and snow showers showing up, and some through Taunton, Dighton, south to Fall River. To the North Shore, Danvers, Lynn, seeing some of that snow. Here's the back edge, Drake at Lowell, Concord, and Sudbury, but Cape Ann seeing steadier snow right now as well. We're going to wait for some reports to come in from these areas to see if we get any accumulations from the snow. I bet there is at least some on the grassy surfaces. Exeter to Rye to Hampton, still seeing some snow in southeast New Hampshire as well. But it's these temperatures that are our next concern. Worcester's 31, Fitchburg 32. So as the temperature continues to drop tonight, like in Plainville, through the 30s and even into the 20s, the snow or rain from today can ice up. And as cold as this is, it's nothing compared to what we have coming for us with that Arctic cold front tomorrow night. Meteorologist Jason Brewer has more on that.
Yeah, straight shot of bitter winds, Kevin, coming in tomorrow, and they'll continue right through Thanksgiving Day. So that Arctic air will settle down into southern New England overnight Wednesday night, and we'll be waking up on Thanksgiving morning to numbers in the single digits and teens. Now, it's going to be really close to record territory in Worcester. I think we have a shot at getting that record low in Worcester. It's going to be a little tougher in Boston. That record from 1873. Then we talk about the record cold high temperatures. So the lowest maximums for Thanksgiving stand in the mid-20s in Boston, 22 Worcester. And we are forecasting high temperatures to break that record in Worcester. And I think we're going to be right there in Boston as well. We're bracing for that bitter Thanksgiving. All right, so Heather Hedger has been keeping an eye on the roads for us with all this wet weather and even some snow tonight. Heather, what's going on right now?
Yeah, there's three problems. There's the wet weather, there's the regular rush, and then there's the holiday travel, and this is the result. I would say the Pike is your worst bet tonight. If you can avoid the Pike, do it. You can see traffic just crawling out of the city, only going a few miles an hour there. We're seeing problems all over the place, though. Having said that, there is one accident to let you know about on Mass Ave near Charles Gate right now, and the expressway always slow as well. Only about 6 miles an hour right now as you approach the Pike on the expressway. Wanted to show you the situation up north where there are the usual trouble spots as well. Right now, only going about 15 miles an hour through Woburn on 128 North, headed to Points North, and only about 12 miles an hour in Reading. Here are some live drive times for you. The worst of those would be the Weston Tolls to the Ted Williams Tunnel. You're only going about 15 miles an hour. It will take you about 46 minutes. Back to you.
Heather, thank you. Our team of meteorologists will be tracking the bitter cold temperatures for Thanksgiving Day on air and online. Plus, you can keep up to date with the Boston 25 weather app. You can track radar down to your street and customize alerts and notifications for your specific location. Our team is back in just a few minutes. New details now on that breaking news in Roslindale. An SUV crashed into several other cars, and new at 6 police are confirming this was a pursuit. Also new at 6, police are telling us it started in the busy Roach Brothers parking lot in West Roxbury and ended in Roslindale. Boston 25 News reporter Alicia Rodriguez is live in Roslindale, where neighbors ended up helping police bring this to an end.
Well, Mark, it was a dog walker who inadvertently helped end the police pursuit here on this congested Roslindale Road. She says that she was backing her car out of a driveway here on Bexley Road when a car clipped her bumper. Well, behind them was a driver in a Mercedes SUV who police say was trying to flee officers.
The man, I guess they were said he had a gun in his front seat. He swerved to try and get around both of us and got stuck in between like the cement light post and the bushes on the side. So he was like reversing and then trying to drive through, but was just completely jammed.
I heard squealing tires, a loud crash, and then a lot of voices yelling compliance orders, and came outside and saw what you see in the footage as far as it was probably 12 police cars, double the number of policemen that were pulling somebody out of a car.
Now, police say all of this started because the driver and his car was blocking the entrance to Roach Brothers in West Roxbury. When a police officer came over and asked that driver to move, he fled. And that's when police pursued him here to Roslindale. When he crashed, they did recover a weapon from his SUV. Reporting live in Roslindale, Alicia Rodriguez, Boston 25 News.
Also breaking a startling warning from the CDC. No romaine lettuce is safe to eat right now.
32 illnesses have been linked to the outbreak, including 2 in Massachusetts and 2 in New Hampshire. Boston 25 News anchor Carrie Cavanaugh joins us now. And Carrie, this news comes before one of the biggest meals of the year.
That's for sure, Vanessa and Ock. The CDC says you should throw out any type of romaine lettuce in your home, even if you've already eaten some of it and did not get sick. 32 people in these 11 states here were infected last month with an outbreak strain of E. coli. That includes 2 people in Massachusetts and 2 in New Hampshire. 13 people had to be treated at a hospital, including 1 patient whose kidneys had failed. No one has died. The CDC says right now, no romaine lettuce is safe to eat until it knows more about the outbreak. The agency is warning stores and restaurants not to serve or sell anyone romaine lettuce. Also, people are being told to wash and sanitize drawers of shelves in their refrigerator where romaine lettuce was stored. The CDC reminds people many bagged lettuces like spring mixes and Caesar salad mixes often include romaine. So when in doubt, throw it out. Live in the newsroom, Carrie Cavanaugh, Boston 25 News.
Now at 6, a marijuana milestone.
It means more freedom for everyone to make their own choices.
After a century of pot prohibition,
I feel like a kid going into a toy store.
Customers line up to light up.
Almost on top of the world right now, and then this just puts me right up there.
Recreational pot shops are open for business.
Business is booming for those pot shops.
Our crews have been at both locations in Leicester and Northampton all day long. The lines, unbelievable. We have team coverage of this monumental day for Massachusetts, and we begin with Boston 25 News reporter Chris Flanagan, who is live in Leicester, where one of the pot shops is still open for 2 more hours. But, Chris, they are turning people away.
Yeah, and Mark, they have been for hours. They actually stopped letting people in line at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Just talked to one guy who walked out of the store. He said he waited in line for 6 hours. Take a look now. That line, since we last saw it at 5 o'clock, really hasn't moved very far. So they're hoping to get in before it closes at 8 o'clock. But the lines today, they were huge all the way down the street, and it was like that all day long.
The line grew longer and longer as people showed up for opening day despite the freezing rain. And at one point, they even ran out of parking.
The number of vehicles that came in is far more than we expected, but we're kind of chalking that up to marijuana tourism. It's people driving by just to see what's going on.
Cultivate in Leicester is one of 2 retail marijuana shops to open in Massachusetts, more than 2 years after voters approved recreational marijuana use.
Amazing. I mean, I feel like a kid going into a toy store.
Customers flooded the recreational pot shop as soon as the doors opened at 8 a.m., and they haven't let up.
This is a lot better than meeting people in the dark and taking your chances. A lot safer. Good for everybody.
Not quite everybody.
We handle this kind of parking in October when we have our Pumpkin Festival, but we kind of got stuck with our pants down, so to say, because we didn't anticipate this.
John Meadcheck owns Breezy Gardens Family Farm, just a stone's throw from the marijuana shop. He says he didn't expect a small business to turn into a pot parking lot today.
We're not getting the things we need to get done, but new people are stopping by, so maybe when they come by next time to visit Cultivate, they'll remember us and say, hey, we got some good stuff at Breezy. So we're trying to think positively.
Yeah, positive attitude. These people thinking positively, hoping they get in before the doors close tonight at 8 o'clock. Now, we're told there was one small issue today. A server that deals with marijuana sales, the state server that is, crashed for about 90 minutes today. But I'm told no customers here at Cultivate were affected. And Cultivate tells me so far they've had more than 1,000 customers go through their doors. Again, the doors close at 8. They'll reopen tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. We're live in Leicester. I'm Chris Flanagan, Boston 25 News.
Chris, thank you. Boston 25 News reporter Crystal Haynes continues our team coverage tonight from Northampton. And Crystal, that store is open until 10 o'clock tonight.
That's right, and we actually saw a big resurgence in the line. It had died down, and then when that 6 o'clock hour actually hit, a lot of folks got in line. I'm going to go ahead, we're going to pan over to you because these people have been standing in line for hours to get inside of Netta to get their purchase today on the first day of recreational sales. And also, in the surrounding community, there are several private businesses and multifamily houses. We wanted to ask, what is the effect for them? We know the state is going to be making hundreds of millions of dollars, but is it worth it?
4, 3, 2, 1.
Customers were lined up.
We've been here since 4 a.m.
and ready to shop in Northampton, including the mayor. It's not Black Friday.
It is a 50 milligram cannabis-infused chocolate bar.
It's Green Tuesday.
It means more freedom for everyone to make their own choices.
UMass Amherst student Daquan Hamilton was the first civilian to make a purchase at New England Treatment Access.
The fact that I can walk out of the store right now with this and not even, not be afraid of anything that could happen to me is it's pretty great.
The Department of Public Health estimates adult marijuana sales would generate more than $200 million for the state and up to $3 million for local governments in the first 2 years alone.
I remember hearing a news article that says Colorado has made so much money they don't know what to do with it. And I said Massachusetts would know what to do with it.
By 3 o'clock, more than 1,000 people from across the region bought cannabis from Netta, and local businesses like the Patels felt the impact from traffic and the potential of public consumption in their lots.
Today I noticed lots of people came out of state and everywhere else, so hopefully it's a good income for city and everyone else.
Phil Hartright at Spare Time Family Entertainment says they've had a problem with public consumption before today's recreational sales, but don't think it will increase after today.
It has, and then we address it, but it hasn't been much of an issue in the past, so I can't see it getting too out of hand.
Now, Netta will be open until 10 o'clock tonight. 1 ounce will cost you more than $300 with tax. Reporting here in Northampton, I'm Crystal Haynes, Boston 25 News.
This day has been years in the making, and on Election Day, November 8th, 2016, Massachusetts voters voted to legalize marijuana. On July 1st, 2018, recreational pot sales became legal. Then, on October 4th, 2018, the Cannabis Control Commission gave final licenses to the pot shops in Leicester and Northampton. And that brings us to today, when pot shops opened up. Meanwhile, more pot shops could be opening soon. Cannabis regulators approved new retail licenses in 5 communities today. Final licenses have been issued in East Hampton and Salem. Those locations still need to be inspected before they can open for business. Provisional licenses were issued in Gardner, Worcester, and Fitchburg. That brings the total retail licenses issued by the Cannabis Commission to nearly 2 dozen. Our coverage of the first day of recreational marijuana sales in Massachusetts continues online at boston25news.com. You can get answers to questions you may have about what's allowed and what's not in the section called Guides Cannabis Consumption.
Developing tonight, the driver in the deadly 2016 Sweet Tomatoes crash in Newton will spend the next 4 years behind bars. A judge sentenced Brad Kassler this afternoon. Last month, a jury found him guilty of 2 motor vehicle homicide charges. Eleanor Mealy and Greg Morin were killed. Ahead at 6:30 tonight, what Kassler said to their families and why they say there is some closure tonight.
Still to come tonight on Boston 25 News at 6, a wild chase.
A man accused of leading police on a pursuit, then firing multiple shots at them.
It's really, an act of God that the officers didn't get struck or killed.
Police tell us why the driver shouldn't have been on the roads in the first place. Plus,
snow is about to move on out. That doesn't mean the problems are over, though, where it can get icy tonight and the bitter cold on the way.
It is a shocking discovery. A Boston area serial killer unmasked only now, decades after the murders of 3 women in their apartments. How a 1969 murder in Cambridge is linked to this case.